Hi, Jacqui.
Hi, Sinead.
Thank you for letting me sit down.
That's all right.
It's been a long day already.
Oh.
But it's really good to see that someone else from local to Reading as well is here.
Yes.
But why was it so important for you to travel to Brighton today?
I think as a mum with daughters, nieces, sisters, friends, family, you name it, it's important that we champion for women's rights. I know that people think that we've evolved, but I feel like we're not evolving fast enough. And we need to change the narrative for our girls as they get older. At least let's work hard so that things will be a little bit easier for them going forward. Even if we're not here, they're going to reap the benefits of us attending things like this, us raising awareness, us speaking up constantly.
Just as people have done before,
Yes,
for our generation.
yeah.
And it's hard to believe, it's hard to think of how poor women's rights were even 10 or 20 years ago.
Do you know, at the opening speech, they talked about it. They talked about Mary Clark. She was one of the suffragettes, and she actually died while protesting. She's not she wasn't really known. Not much was known about her, but I think a few others were named, but she wasn't. And she pushed so hard for legislation to change, for women to be recognized in their own right and things like that. Unfortunately, she died before that had happened. But we were given a chance to honor women who've made a change. Recently, I just saw that it's the 50th anniversary for the day when law was changed, was passed to allow women to be on the mortgage.
That's crazy, isn't it?
50.
Imagine not being able to be
ago.
on the mortgage.
Yes. So basically, we were nothing.
Like financially dependent.
Yeah.
And couldn't own your own home.
You had to have endorsement from a man, and women weren't allowed to own businesses, weren't allowed to inherit things. And I think globally, in some countries, that is still ongoing. It's the boy child that is considered to be the child.
I think often the boy child is still quite favoured, aren't they?
Yes. And it's quite sad because it is still ongoing.
And I know as well, obviously I've just come back from the Baton of Hope walk as well in London today. And it's Mental Health Day. And I think it's so important to talk about how domestic abuse impacts mental health.
And especially since it's World Mental Health Day today, and in the month of October, where we're doing Domestic Violence Awareness Month, the interlink between the two is very important. I found that most survivors, quite a large percentage of them, are presenting with some mental health issues. Some have been diagnosed, some are on medication, but I recognize that it's trauma. And I feel like with the correct support, they don't necessarily have to be on medication, but people forget the huge impact of trauma on your mental well-being. And your mental health.
It just affects the way you live.
The way you think. I was actually discussing with a friend of mine. They've got a stall just down there, and we were talking about trauma responses and our trauma responses. And I laughed and said, I'm the kind of person that could carry a fridge on top of my head up the stairs because I worry about letting somebody do things for me and then use it against me tomorrow. It is such a huge trauma response for me. And I believe a lot of survivors and a lot of other people for numerous reasons.
Do you know, for me, that is, for a long time, I did not realise that everyone did not sleep with their shoes next to their bed. I used to have my shoes, they literally be right where, if I got out of bed, they're right there. I could just put my shoes on quick, but that was just normal. And I thought that was normal. I'd done it for so long. And there's things like that if you're living in fear, you adapt to live in the best way that you can, that you can survive.
And the other thing for me as well is answering the phone after a certain time, because I've experienced so many.
Hi.
This is Project Salama.
Because I have our family history of so many deaths, and it used to be phone calls at 2 a.m. I will look at it until it goes quiet. And I will think you are going to put a message or you're going to tell someone else. And then that someone will tell it to me gently because there's trauma attached to answering phones after a certain.
I found that since Diva died. And the other problem I have is phoning people or texting them. Because if I phone or text them and they don't answer,
Start to panic.
it's like after a while, if they haven't contacted me back,
Are you alive? Everything okay?
Same with someone sleeping in their room. If they go beyond the point of, you should be up now. Why haven't I seen you yet? It's very difficult, I think, trauma.
And I was talking to my friend and she was saying that she doesn't like raised voices.
I don't.
She said, I will walk away while people are talking with their voices raised. I will just walk out.
We were talking earlier about you having a very soft,
my
gentle voice.
Yes. And I was just saying that because of the IDVA training, I had to learn to moderate my voice, to control my voice. I'm quite your typical loud African woman. I've also got like a background of business and legal and also doing presentations. So I have a different voice for every situation. But I think I've learned just when I'm talking to people to just make it low and mellow. And it's something that I just carry with me now.
Does your voice change when it comes to speaking with men? What voice do you have in those situations?
I've never noticed. Maybe you can tell me if you witness it.
I'd be interested in knowing because I find when I'm out, sometimes I really annoy myself. Sometimes I'll be walking and a man look and I put my head down and I hate it. I hate it because it's almost like
subservient or something.
But it's not. I'm just like, don't talk to me. It's all it is I don't want them talking to me. I don't want no one approaching me. But actually, the very act of putting my head down just looks, and that drives me mad. It depends what mood I'm in, obviously. But I think that's when I'm not ready to fight. When I'm not ready to fight.
I don't know. When I'm talking with my son and my brothers, maybe it does change. Maybe so.
But your son and brothers might be different too.
That's true. Because I think my voice is the same at home. It's very loud. Very.
I want to hear him.
And that's why my kids are like, we don't, but like my daughter especially, she's like, oh, Mum, use your Project Salama voice in this house. Because I'm always like, the IDVA training taught me that you can't always.
But it's very difficult, isn't it? I think when you don't feel safe, when someone doesn't feel safe, even in their own body, isn't it? It's just your voice is so important.
Yes, your voice is very, very important. It is.
Your body language.
Yes, you could be talking maybe a little bit of rubbish, but if it's modulated the right way, it can be calming, and it has to be calming because we're dealing with people who are on the edge, who have been traumatized, who have been put through it, and the last thing they need is a stringent voice. They will completely run in the opposite direction.
When women come to you through Project Salama, what level of support do they get for their mental health? Are you able to help them get the support for their mental health? Like, what do you see? What do you see?
Do you know, it's disappointing. We used to have Brave, and Brave was so good. Most of them are with talking therapies and things like that, but I don't feel like it works. We have quite a couple of volunteer therapists who've said they want to come and do sessions with us.
Oh, amazing.
We're meeting up with Harinda on the 20th of October so that she can do the Reading giant chats and just sit there and support the ladies on a voluntary basis. This is somebody who's running a successful practice, who's taken a time out to say, because it just isn't enough out there to support trauma. Like I said, we used to have Brave, and that was trauma therapy for people that have been through sexual and domestic abuse. And it was affiliated with the NHS.
Right.
But they scrapped their funding.
Oh, no.
It tells you how unimportant.
Why? So does Brave not exist now?
No.
Wow.
No. Unless if they get funding. And I really, really hope they do. There's so many families out there struggling without it. And the people that have done it have just done nothing but speak amazing things about it. They've been like, they get it. It's about trauma. They give you
specialist support, don't you? It's not.
You can't just go talking therapists because some of the therapists don't understand. They're not properly trauma informed.
And they can do more damage.
Yeah, they can do more damage because you're going to be asked to talk about it. But what has been put in place to support you or protect you?
There's just this morning I was talking to a man on the walk, and he was saying that he's just had to take 6 months off because of counselling that was damaging because they weren't specialists. They didn't understand suicide loss, and it's one of the reasons actually I've waited to have therapy. I'm having therapy at the moment with a lady who's amazing, but you've got to be so careful. I was very aware that actually I don't want to be in the hands of someone that's going to make my head feel worse. Like,
we had a really good one that really supported me and actually possibly was instrumental in me using my pain for my purpose.
That's so important.
By recognizing that right now you're hurting, you're going through this, you're in so much pain and you're angry and you're this, but that there's a strong woman buried inside of that pain, and
no one's going to argue
she's
with
going to
that.
come out. I appreciate her for doing that, and that's what happens when you go to the right therapist.
Because you wouldn't have felt that strong.
No. And for a while I was very angry, very bitter, very hurt, and you name it, I did it. And I think for me the tipping point as well was my daughter saying, I'm not coming home.
Oh, really?
From uni, I'm not coming because I don't want to see you angry, crying on the sofa. I'd rather just stay here with my friends and party. That's exactly what she did.
And how long ago was it you started Project Salama?
I started Project Salama in April 2022.
And do you know roughly how many women that you supported in that time?
I think we're in the hundreds, easily in the hundreds.
And then there's the children.
Yes.
As well.
So we're well in the hundreds. Yeah.
And that
we've supported. And I love the positive feedback. And when things don't go well, I actually do also take it very personally.
Yeah.
Very personally. And then I have to also then do my supervisions to help me understand that as much as I push and fight, some things are out of my hands.
Yeah.
And it's a very hard pill to swallow for me that this is out of my hands because I still want to.
Yeah. No, of course.
So,
but no, we definitely put pain into purpose. I like the ripples from, you know, the women you've helped.
Yeah.
It's been massive.
Yeah.
You believe we need to talk more openly about grief, trauma and hope? You're in the right place. Subscribe, leave your thoughts, and together we can make it easier to talk about the hardest things.